Welcome back. We are here with Greg Westfall, the president of Rehaba, and we've been talking about this miracle machine you have called the Tesla Max. And this thing is amazing. Now, I want to ask you a question because, almost everybody now, especially if they're under 20, they don't do anything except they stay on their phone or their iPad, and people just sit.
You got strong thumbs, though.
They have strong thumbs, but they're not exercising, and they're not doing the things that you and I did when we were kids, where we were kicked out of the house to go play, right? And now you're kicked to your bedroom, I guess, to go get on your device. And so for children, can this machine be used for children?
Well, we have certain applications for some of our equipment. We have an FDA-cleared product called the Tier 4, Tesla Max Tier 4, and that product. There are some ear clips, cranial electrical stim applications where we've had some pretty amazing experiences that people have reported with Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, and getting kids off Ritalin. We've had some doctors use it.
Wait a minute now. I don't want to gloss over that one. You said you've been able to see children get off of Ritalin with this machine.
Yes, in fact, they were so rowdy that they might bite their mother, so their mother had to hook them up while they're sleeping at night.
Wow.
And it still has the same benefit on the brain. Charlie Rose in the Brain at pbs.org, he did a special on the brain with Eric Kandel, Nobel laureate from Columbia University. It's an amazing special, but I couldn't believe watching this special. Eric Kandel says there's only 3 things you can do with people with depression and neurological imbalances. One is cognitive therapy, like Beck's book, Feeling Good. Think happy thoughts, okay?
Right.
Watch how your inner language, that's beneficial. One is drug therapy, and titration is a real challenge, getting it balanced out. And the one he said he was most excited about, he sees people come out of a brain fog, and amazing results, is where they take out part of the skull and put wires down into the brain, and it's like they come out of a brain fog. But he says, it's just a real challenge for potential infections, and a very skilled neurosurgeon needs to do this in the hospital, and maintenance and follow-up is a real challenge. I'm watching this because we've been treating people from earlobe to earlobe for decades, and there's plenty of research on it by Ray Smith. He's got a phenomenal book about insomniacs, sleeping through the night. We've had people with fibromyalgia report, and when we do our full body electrical stim, we've had people report that the muscle activity gives them the equivalent of an endorphin rush, cortisol, all the benefits of exercise.
Yeah.
When we're doing these deep muscle contractions, it increases stem cells, free-floating stem cells. It increases, we work the capillary bed, increase circulation by 500% in the area treated, and this is documentable with all kinds of different measures, but infrared cameras is a great way to show the improved circulation. When people have diabetic neuropathy, and by the way, 55% of American adults are either diabetic or pre-diabetic, according to
55%
of
My
American
goodness.
adults. I mean, so what's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
And we get sedentary and we don't use our bodies, and so we get out of balance. So we're able to give people the kind of contractions they need around their knees. I had a national champion gymnast. She had a knee blown out in a year of training by her athletic trainer. And they said, it's all in your head. You're fixed. Get back in the game. She said, no, I know it's not right. So we hooked up 2 electrodes on the outside of the good leg and watched, and it took us 70 on the dial to get visible contractions. So then we took those 2 electrodes, put them on the bad leg, and it, on the good leg, it took 30 to see visible contractions. The bad leg took 70. Why the difference? Because all the electricity was going to the edema trapped in that limb. It was going to the fluid still in that limb. So we were able to document a bilateral comparison and show that she had fluid trapped in this, which is what happens.
Amazing.
We had a NFL lineman heard we could do this. He had a injury from 30 years earlier, and he wouldn't tell me which leg. So he said, okay, if you're so good, you can find out which leg it is. So I took 2 electrodes, I put them on the outside of this leg, and it took 30 to contract, 30 on the front medial, on the interior of the leg, 30. Then I moved to this leg, 30, 30, but when I went to the outside of his thigh, it took 70 to contract. Why? Because he had atrophied muscles here.
My goodness.
And they take much more juice to saturate the active fibers and contract. So people can go to rehaba.com. That's rehab plus an A, .com.
REHABA.com.
Rehaba.com. And they can learn more about this instrument. Or they can send me an email, and our team will follow up with you and send you pricing information. Basically, people who use this equipment for the next 20 years, they can get their cost per treatment down to 50 cents a treatment compared to $100
Really? Wow.
per treatment in the clinic. We have financing for people. They can try it on a rental program first. That a big chunk of that will apply towards the purchase, so they can see if it's going to work for them. We do help people get a doctor's prescription because this equipment has to be used on the order of a licensed healthcare practitioner, and we'll show them how to do that. But we have a 109-page protocol book with all kinds of different applications. For shoulders, we've had people with frozen shoulders scheduled for surgery doing push-ups in 10 days with this. I mean, if you're scheduled for shoulder surgery, for heaven's sakes, give this a try before you do that. Knee surgery, the same thing. Hip surgery. If you have chronic back pain and you're locked up and hard as a rock, the reason that those muscles are hard as a rock is they're the kid who played fair on the teeter-totter. They're the ones who get injured. It's like two guys carrying a couch. Who gets injured? Not the one who drops it. The guy who's still there. Those are the strong muscles that are having to carry the weight and pick up the slack. We had a kid who was standing on the back of a motorbike. His buddy he was 14. And his foot slipped off and into the spokes, and everything was cut off except for the nerves and they were going to amputate the foot. And he begged his father to not let that happen. And as he learned to compensate, he started using the upper thoracic region of his back to walk because he had atrophied muscles in his anterior tib, and his hamstrings got real weak, but he had the Hulk's back and real skinny, scrawny legs, etc. He'd had 20 years of chronic, horrific pain, and he heard from his father what we could do, and got into our program. He's given us a wonderful testimony. I'd love to send it to anyone. If they want to email us, please send an email to info@rehaba.com. That's info@rehaba.com. Or you can email me personally at Greg, Greg, @rehaba.com.
Perfect. Well,
If they want to call us, they could even tell us. Can I give that number?
Yeah, of course, please.
Well, we have a Las Vegas number. It's 702-871-3200. Let us know what you're dealing with, and if you don't have a doctor, we'll help put you in touch with a doctor. We have doctors in all 50 states and in other countries around the world that utilize the equipment, and they tell us it's the best thing we've ever used for neuropathy, for incontinence, and all these chronic pain conditions.
Yeah. Now you make it easy, so if I would like to try this machine, then you can make it easy by recommending the doctor and a program that maybe I can get financing.
Yes. Basically, the Tesla technology, instead of coming into a clinic and being treated once or twice or 3 times a week, some of these people need 2 or 3 treatments a day in the privacy of their home. It's also very difficult for them to get to the clinic because they can't drive if they have neuropathy in their feet. So now they can be treated in the convenience of their home, and they only have to go in the clinic, say, once a month for monitoring and follow-up. So the take-home program is truly partnering with your clinician and being able to treat yourself 24 hours a day at your own convenience in the privacy of your own home.
This is fabulous. I'll tell you, I had a chance to hear a wonderful story about you, and I want you to tell this story when we come back. So don't go away. We'll be right back.